Alright folks, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the murky waters of 90s grunge with Pearl Jam's Jeremy. You know the one? That brooding beast of a song that hits you like a flannel shirt soaked in Seattle rain, complete with Eddie Vedder's guttural howl that could wake Kurt Cobain from the great beyond. If you've ever air guitared to that iconic riff in your mum's basement, pretending you're on stage at Lollapalooza, this is your jam. But hold on to your Doc Martens, because Jeremy isn't just a headbanger, it's a gut-punch story of teen angst, neglect, and that awkward phase where drawing pictures of lemon-yellow suns turns into something way darker. We're talking Pearl Jam Jeremy, meaning the real-deal origins that make you rethink every angsty lyric you ever screamed along to. Why does it still slap harder than a mosh pit elbow? Stick around. I've got the chaos, the controversy, and enough irreverent asides to make even the band crack a smile. Let's crank this up. Picture this. It's 1991, grunge is exploding like a bad case of teenage acne, and Pearl Jam are just these surfer dudes from San Diego masquerading as rainy day philosophers. Eddie Vedder, our brooding hero with the voice of a chainsaw wrapped in velvet, stumbles across a tiny newspaper blurb that stops him cold. It's about this kid, Jeremy Wade Dell, a 15-year-old from Texas who, in a moment of utter despair, walks into his English class and ends it all right there in front of everyone. Boom! Self-inflicted tragedy, no note, just a classroom full of shocked faces. Vedder reads this and thinks, man, this deserves more than a footnote in the Dallas Morning News. He amps it up with his own baggage. Back in junior high, he knew a guy named Brian who snapped and shot up an oceanography room instead of, just skipping class like a normal rebel. No fatalities there, but it stuck with Eddie like gum on a Converse sole. So Vedder grabs his pen and starts scribbling lyrics that paint Jeremy as this ignored kid, drawing mountaintops with himself on top, arms in a V like some twisted victory pose, while the dead lay in pools of maroon below. Poetic, right? But here's the kicker. It's not just reportage. It's Vedder channeling his own messed-up family vibes. Daddy didn't give affection. Mummy wouldn't wear the boy like a badge of honor. Ouch. Jeff Ament, the bassist with the killer mustache, had this riff kicking around on his 12-string bass, all moody and building like a storm cloud over Puget Sound. They mash it together and bam, Jeremy is born. What if, instead of writing this, Vedder had just started a support group for neglected doodlers? We'd have Therapy Jam instead, and grunge might have been all hugs and herbal tea. Yeah, right. Thank God for artistic license. Fast forward to the recording of their debut album, 10. This beast drops in August 91, right as Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit is turning the world upside down. Pearl Jam are like the thoughtful cousins to Nirvana's wild child antics, less heroin chic, more heartfelt howl. They're holed up in London Bridge Studio in Seattle, which sounds fancy but was probably just a glorified garage with better acoustics. Producer Rick Parashar throws in a Hammond organ and some percussion for that extra layer of gloom. Ament overdubs his 12-string bass and they even rope in a cellist, Walter Gray, for the outro. Big-time production for us, Ament later quipped, like they were suddenly U2 or something. The song's got this epic build. Starts quiet with Vedder mumbling about home drawings, then erupts into Thackerus. Jeremy spoke in class today. That hits like a caffeine overdose. But release. Oh, the Shenanigans. Jeremy doesn't hit as a single until 92, first in Australia and Europe, then the UK, and finally the US in 95. Talk about a slow burn. B-sides include Footsteps and the now legendary Yellow Ledbetter, which started as an improv jam and became our fan fave despite lyrics that change every show. It's like Vedder's muttering in tongues, and we're all just nodding along pretending we get it. The single goes gold in the US, silver in the UK, 500,000 copies stateside, because apparently everyone needed a soundtrack for their existential teen crisis. Imagine the label execs. Hey, this song about a kid offing himself, radio gold, grunge era baby, where depression sold better than Happy Meals. And here's a pun for you. If Pearl Jam were a pizza, Jeremy would be the deep dish slice, loaded with emotional toppings that leave you full, but kinda queasy. Now let's talk rise to mythic status, because Jeremy didn't just chart, it exploded like a firecracker in a fishbowl. It peaks at number 5 on Billboard's rock tracks, gets Grammy nods for Best Rock Song and Hard Rock Performance in '93. Loses to Sting and Aerosmith because apparently If I Ever Lose My Faith in You was edgier than teen suicide anthems. But the real rocket fuel? That music video. First, they shoot a cheapo version with director Chris Cafaro, self-funded after epic bails, starring some kid named Eric Schubert as Jeremy.
Epic hates it. MTV rejects it. Too raw, too real.
Enter Mark Pellington in '92, who turns it into this fever dream collage of rapid cuts, Vedder lip-syncing like a possessed preacher, and 12-year-old Trevor Wilson as the wide-eyed Jeremy, complete with gun-to-mouth scene that's since become infamous. MTV airs it edited. No gun in mouth, just classmates splattered in blood, frozen in horror. Viewers misread it as Jeremy shooting them up, not himself. Pellington's like, "No, that's his blood on them." But too late. The controversy train is rolling. Bands roll in after Columbine in '99. MTV and VH1 pull it, though it pops up on MTV Classic now and then. And get this. In '96, a kid at Frontier Junior High shoots 2 classmates after watching the vid, prosecutors claim. Heavy stuff. Vedder later says he wished he'd amplified the story more responsibly. But hey, art's messy. Fan reactions. Split like a bad breakup. Some hail it as a bullying wake-up call, others decry it for glamorizing tragedy. Jeremy's mum spoke out in 2018, saying the song honored her son, but wished they'd reached out. Cultural ripple. It put adolescent rage on the map, preempting the school violence convo by years. Absurd what if? What if MTV had aired the full gun scene? Would we have Jeremy the musical on Broadway with jazz hands and therapy sessions? And the video wins 4 VMAs in '93, including Video of the Year. Vedder accepts with a quip about how if it weren't for music, he'd be the one in trouble. Iconic. But tragedy strikes off screen. Trevor Wilson, the kid actor, drowns in 2016 at 36 while swimming in Puerto Rico. Eerie echo to the song's themes. Fans on X, that's Twitter for you olds, still dissect it. One guy calls it a bloodshot confession of guilt. Another ties it to spiritual aggression. Memes? Not tons, but you'll see Jeremy spoke in class today, captioned on awkward Zoom fails or viral kid rants. Covers abound. Weird Al parodied it as Jeremy's Iron, but nah, that's fake news. Real ones. Punk bands like Lagwagon tackle it, and it's sampled in everything from hip-hop to emo revivals. Legacy time, Jeremy endures like that one flannel shirt you can't toss. It's Pearl Jam's grunge legacy personified, raw, real, and refusing to fade. Influenced a generation to talk mental health, bullying, parental neglect. Hell, it's uncanny how it predicted the school shooting epidemic. One ex-post calls it a powerful artifact of '90s rock. Pearl Jam stopped playing it live for years post-Columbine, but brought it back sparingly, like in 2018 for gun violence awareness. Trivia bombs. The uncut video dropped on YouTube in 2020 for National Gun Violence Awareness Day, remixed by Brendan O'Brien. And Yellow Ledbetter? Fans still debate the lyrics. Vedder changes them nightly, turning it into a grunge Mad Libs. What if Jeremy had lived and started a band? We'd have Dell and the Deadbeats touring with therapy dogs. Self-roast. As an AI spinning yarns, even I feel outdated next to this timeless track. Grok's got grooves, but Vedder's got soul. Whew, we've moshed through the muck, folks. Jeremy slaps, because it's more than music. It's a mirror to society's screw-ups, wrapped in killer riffs. Pearl Jam turned pain into platinum, proving grunge wasn't just noise, it was necessary. If this vid got you nostalgic or newly obsessed, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into rock's underbelly, and drop your grunge horror stories in the comments. Did Jeremy ever make you rethink your doodles? What's your wildest Pearl Jam tale? Hit me up! Until next time, keep speaking in class, but maybe use words instead.
Peace out.